Welcome back. Welcome back. Hello. Good morning. Hello. If I didn't say it already. Freaking hello, guys. Hi, how are you? Good morning. I hope that this video catches you guys in a great space. Oh my gosh. Embarrassing slightly. Hope it catches y'all in a great space because today is going to be another episode of the Capable series, teaching y'all that you are always more capable than you think. So let's get into it. Today we're talking about how to cultivate beauty. Everything is falling and it's low-key ridiculous. Man, I love this conversation because I have a beauty story. I have a good beauty story, you know, going from thinking I'm a derp to weird to all these things to who I believe I am now and what I am now and who the freaking baddest is, right? It's me. And I love talking about beauty. I love talking about cultivating it because that is really how you get long-lasting beauty. It's not through being born and being told by everyone around you that you're pretty. That is like really just attention, and it's not what makes something beautiful. So there's so much that we're gonna chat about, and it's just going to be a great conversation about beauty, and it's going to be a conversation about how to start creating beauty in yourself, like start to make yourself even more beautiful than you already are. To begin, I want to talk a little bit about myself for a second because, like I said, I think my story could help. So growing up, did not think I was cute, obviously not, like definitely did not peak in high school, did not do nothing that would, to me, concern, like, I didn't have any experiences that would really tell me, like, you're so pretty, you're so beautiful. I was never placed in those situations, right? So growing up, I saw myself as a little, like, a very closed off, you know, very to herself, very artistic person, because I would draw all day, and I wouldn't talk to anybody. But I do remember when I would go to different schools, like the more popular people would come up to me and, you know, try to talk with me, but I would be the one to be like, you know, I would be the one that was just like, no, because I don't know if it was just like, they really weren't the people I wanted to hang out with or anything like that, but I just never saw myself equal, you know? Me, when I was back in school, I would think that everyone was making fun of me or like pointing down at me and things like that. And because of that, I never took a compliment serious. I never took anything serious. But because I never took anything serious, people that were actually interested in me, I straight up ignored. My identity was not you're beautiful, you're pretty, you get attention, you like deserve that stuff. It was more you're closed off, you're, you know, you mind your business, you're this and the other, and because that's who I thought I was. Being pretty took me time to even accept in my mind, and I remember being 17 and going through a big thing in my life, and then I realized, okay, like I can choose to be whatever I want to be. Why not choose to be pretty? Like, why not agree with them? Because the thing is also I would get compliments, but again, because I never saw myself as a pretty person, as beautiful, I couldn't even accept the compliments. I would say, no, I'm not, or something like that, or on the lines of that, because you couldn't convince me otherwise. I remember being 17 and realizing, okay, I don't have to be what I believe other people see me as. I can be who I want to be. And that is what started my journey of cultivating beauty and changing the definition of what I thought I was and who I thought I was right there. That's why I think that beauty is never going to be just a skin deep thing. It's always going to be deeper than that, because for something to be long lasting, it needs to go deeper than the surface, always, you know? Something can look beautiful on the outside and still be rotten within. My first point is beauty is in the eye of the beholder. When I was a kid, even if I was looking nice, I wasn't going to believe you because I didn't think I was. Your dad could say, you know, you're the most beautiful person on the planet, right? But then you could turn around and be like, oh no, that's the most beautiful person on the planet. and it changes with every person that you talk to. Not everyone is going to think everything is beautiful. And that's why you need to switch your definition of beauty. If you believe that you are beautiful and that is your definition of beauty, then someone else saying, oh, but that's beautiful to me, it's not going to affect you because you have your own definition. You know what you feel beauty is. And so that's what you have to turn and start doing to yourself. You have to turn and say you are beautiful, right? Because that's a definition now. And it's a definition that you can follow. And doing that is just changing how you see beauty. Okay? Because if you are told growing up that you're ugly and you don't have any sort of redeeming qualities, that's the definition you hold for yourself. So now that you know, oh, that's really just a definition. It doesn't actually mean that I'm ugly. It's just a definition that I've decided to constantly listen to. So because I know that all that is just a definition, let me change it. So I don't have to constantly beat myself down. Instead of saying I'm ugly, I'm going to say I'm beautiful and I'm everything that I want to be. And I'm all of these beautiful things. Because at the end of the day, you should think you're beautiful. You should think you're flawless. You should think that you're capable. Because that's what's going to get you to start doing capable things and start showing your capability by saying that you are. After you start seeing the definitions that you're holding with yourself, ask yourself, when did these ugly and whatever and weird and all that stuff, when did those definitions come into my life? Like, when did that happen? Because then you'll start to see that it probably wasn't you that just randomly thought of something and it was something you overheard or it was something that you learned, right? If you hear somebody talking about like black girls, like if you hear somebody talking about, oh, like curly hair is frizzy and that doesn't look good and not this and the other, that's when you probably got the idea in your head that, oh, a part of who I am is not actually beautiful, therefore I cannot be beautiful. Our minds are extremely receptive, especially when we're young. And so hearing stuff like that, even if it's on a whim, can last you years. And you would never really realize it because you're too busy living your life. Ask yourself, okay, when did I start thinking of myself in that way? And once you see, oh, that came from someone I don't even talk to anymore. Like, why do I still believe that about myself? You can drop it and put a new definition in, one that actually works for you. So do that for yourself because that will help you in rewriting that thought that you are ugly. And that helps you build your beauty because now your definition of who you are is beautiful. Once you have that down, now it's time to strengthen it and so you can actually maintain whatever beauty you have. Maintaining it is one of my favorite things. It's one of my favorite things because when you realize that you're beautiful, you want to take care of yourself. You want to take care of yourself. Like, it's so much fun. Knowing and believing that I actually have beauty is so empowering to me because now I take care of myself and I am thinking like, oh my gosh, I feel so good. I feel so healthy and strong because I'm actually taking care of myself. And that's why in cultivating beauty and in cultivating anything, it has to start with your mindset. Because once you believe that you are something, it's going to be so much easier to do the work that it takes to maintain it. So strengthening it comes from a routine, or it comes from activity. It comes from doing now. So routine for beauty and cultivating beauty it starts with necessity. Be clean, make sure that you shower every day, keep your hygiene up, and start to figure out start to figure out like the specifics of who you are. That sounded really like but what I mean by that is, what's your skin type? Do you have dry skin? Do you have oily skin? Do you have products that are meant for your skin? And then maintenance, which is, having your eyebrows done, having your hair done, having your having a nice outfit on, having style. It's stuff like that. And all of those things, I call it routine because routine and maintenance, because that's just how I live my life. But it could just be, just different things you do now that is directly connected to your cultivation of your beauty. Start to cultivate a routine that is all about bettering yourself. Okay, whitening strips if you want to have pearly white teeth, but start to take care of yourself. Start to take care of yourself and have pride about who you are and like how you look, because that obviously, like, that is a part of having confidence in your beauty, having confidence in what you look like, having confidence in who you are by taking care of yourself, being well kept. And so create a routine and, get to know yourself even better and start to focus more so on who you are and who you're being in life. What kind of music do you like? What kind of movies do you like? And things like that, because beauty is also about being attractive. It's also about gaining with attention. And so the way that I cultivate beauty in that way is by putting attention on myself. What do I like to do in my free time? How do I ask myself questions, and I ask myself these things not to obsess over myself, but to get to know myself better than I already do. Because I'm also a person, and I don't need another person to get to know myself better. And doing that pushes this belief that I matter. I matter more than just being in my relationships, than just working and just this. I matter, period. And that makes me feel even more just full of beauty, because I'm feeling like I actually deserve attention. I feel like I deserve, what I grant myself, which is the attention, which is the attraction. Like, I literally believe that I am so beautiful, and I have beauty that, only I can see, because that's the truth. And in that is what shines out. And I don't have to say anything. I don't have to say I'm beautiful, because I tend to myself with a belief that I know I am, with the belief that I am beautiful already. So I don't have to say it, because I already know it. You hear? And so that's what comes from having routine. That's what comes when you focus more on who you're being, when you focus more on yourself and what beauty means to you. Because beauty will change from every person you talk to. It will not ever be really the same. And because of that, you don't really have to constantly listen to what society's telling you, because like everybody else, society will change their perspective of beauty. It does throughout all of history. And because of that, it's more important that your definition of beauty is strong. Your identity of yourself is beautiful. Another thing that happened to me when I started just taking care of myself a little bit better is people started commenting on, people started acting weird. Okay? And growing up, I'm guessing it was the same and I just didn't notice it or whatever, but like, guys, like, get used to attention, get used to that, and figure out and learn how to kind of navigate it, because not everybody in this world takes care of themselves. So when you start to take care of yourself and you start to appreciate the beauty that you have, people that just don't do that are going to look at you. They're going to look at you, because you look at something that you find pretty, or you look at something you like, you look at something you find attractive, and if you're out here smelling good, looking good, feeling good, you're going to get attention. Like that, I'm not sorry. You are going to get positive and negative attention, and what you have to remember is that, again, it's in the eye of the beholder. It's in the eye of the beholder. And so you can listen to people talking about, oh, you're so beautiful and you have all this talent and you're this, and you know, you'd be like, thank you very much. But then you might have people that are like, you aren't all that, and you try too much, and you are doing this, and you're doing too much, and why even? And with those people, you really just gotta be like, and turn. Because where that energy is coming from is from a place of comparison and from a place of victim, low-key. Well, first of all, they're comparing you two together, but they also think that there's not room for beauty. There's not room for both of y'all to be beautiful. So you have to hear all this, but you don't. Because that's not really your problem. That's not your problem. It's not your problem that someone has an identity that is not beautiful and they don't take care of themselves. Because when you hear stuff like that, that's just comparison speaking. And you're not comparing anyone. You know, you did not compare yourself to that person. And so in those spaces, you have to just remember, there's no need to compare. I am who I am. You are who you are. And we are here together. And so if you have a problem, that is up to you to take care of. That is not for me. So I'm going to walk away, or I'm going to do whatever. Because there's always going to be somebody. There's always going to be somebody that just doesn't get you, or doesn't appreciate you, or doesn't do this, doesn't do that. But those are also the people who have identified with being compared and comparing others to themselves. And you're not ever going to win when you compare yourself. You have to stay in your own lane. Everybody is doing the same exact thing. Everybody's trying as hard as you are. In their own way, they're trying as hard as you are. When you receive stuff like that, a lot of the time it's just because they don't know how to do what you do themselves. And so what they say, no matter how bad it may get, whatever they say, it doesn't really need to come over to you. It doesn't really need to come over and impact you as deeply as it could have, because that's just their identity that they've chosen. Like that's just them comparing themselves to you, and you can't control that. So in those spaces, you just gotta let people be in that lane by themselves, and remember that you take care of yourself because you want to take care of yourself, because you want to be who you are, and that's all that really matters. I would say overall, that is like a way that I've cultivated my beauty. That's a way that I grew out of thinking and believing that I'm ugly, by challenging those thoughts, and by asking myself, when did I think that? Like, when did that show up? Because I definitely didn't come out the womb thinking that. And then just deciding, why not be beautiful? Like, why not be pretty, yo? Like, why not be pretty, and why not take care of myself like I'm pretty? Everybody holds beauty. There is no actual true definition of beauty, because it's such a diverse and versatile thing. And in those things, comparison is what kills it. Comparison kills an actual beautiful thing, because there is no one like look for beautifulness, for beauty. Always remember that you are beautiful, period. And all you're doing is cultivating it. All you're doing now is starting to build the beauty that's already there. And you start by dropping any sort of idea that you were the opposite, dropping that and claiming the identity that you already are. And now you're just starting to take care of it like it's a little plant. Hope that whatever I said resonated with whoever. And I just love y'all. I love y'all, and I'll see y'all in the next video. Bye.